Okay, so here we have our man Jazz, and let's have a little review of his robot mode now. We'll start off with his head and his face, which I think is a very nice sculpt. It really reminds me of his G1 counterpart. However, I have a very loose rocking part here, so if you try and move his head, he just starts to transform, which is a small issue. So you sort of have to push backwards while bending to get some rock there. But anyway, you've seen that issue now. Here we can see Jazz from the front. Here we see Jazz from the side, the rear, the top, and everyone's favourite, underneath. Oh, never noticed that code there before, all these peg holes. Now the paint apps on my Jazz I think are very nice. There's a nice blue painted app, the headlights have a nice blue tint. However, this red line is a little bit smeary and it looks like it's bled a little where they've masked it and painted it. However, at arm's length, it's not really too much of an issue. We've got some nice blue bits on the groin area there, not sure what you'd call that, the pelvis perhaps. These silver areas are very nice. The stripes are very well done. And I like the Autobot logo on the chest here. However, I do have a little bit of red paint which has made its way onto the front there. I don't know what that's from. I might be able to just wipe that off easily. But I'll probably leave it. It's so small. Now, sculpt-wise, I think Jazz looks absolutely fantastic. He's probably my favourite so far out of the Studio 86 line of Transformers. I, myself, think he's better than Hot Rod. But that's just me. Personal opinion, don't get angry. I really like the sculpting of the face and the front area here. You know, honestly, from the front, I think it's pretty much flawless. Issues-wise, we have these gaps here in the arms and on the inside of the thighs. There's a bit of a gap, although they have moulded a little piston in there. And from the back, we have these big gaps in here, but I'm not too worried about figures from the rear. Let me just take his gun off. Anyway, when it comes to articulation, his head will rotate 360 degrees. It will also move forwards and backwards with that issue I told you about earlier. Yes, it does. The arms will spin all the way around. They will move at the bicep 90 degrees and they will also lift up and out. And the hand, sadly, will not do anything apart from move in and out as part of the transformation. The waist will spin 360 degrees. Excuse all those clacking, breaking noises. The legs will kick forward. They will kick back and they will kick out to the side, although there's a little bit of fouling there to prevent the full box splits. The knees, a lot of people saying they got loose knees. I don't seem to have that issue, however it might be they haven't pegged in their knee peg, which will make it appear loose, but when you've pegged it in, it's actually nice and stiff. It might be that they're talking about a different issue. There is no rotation at the thigh, I don't think. Oh yes there is, I'm telling a fib. I'm lying again, aren't I? There's some rotation in there. Very stiff though, very stiff. And obviously we have some transformation of the toe to give us some toe movement. And the ankle, I'm sure this did rock. Let's try on this one. There we go, look. Some ankle rock there. Will rock quite a lot, it would seem. Don't try that with your own feet. You may break your leg. Now he's standing funny. Now, if we do a little size comparison, we'll bring in his best mate, Cliff Jumper, Jazz and Cliff Jumper, the TV show. I don't know if you remember that one. It's not real. I made it up. Yet again, another lie. But you can see that they're of a similar size, although Cliff Jumper is shorter. That's not really similar at all, is it? Let's have a look at the accessories now. And Jazz comes with a gun. This is Jazz's weapon. It's a silver painted gun. It was obviously white plastic and they painted it silver. Can they just mould these in silver, or would that be too much of an ask? I don't know, but I think this one is quite nice. They've used the hollow parts as part of the detail, which I think is clever. And we have some pegs on here, on the sides, for mounting purposes, which we'll see later on. They haven't drilled out the end of the gun barrel. That would be something you would have to do yourself. So all in all, I think Jazz is a bloody good robot mode. Anyway, let's have a look at his alternative mode. Well, first we better get him transformed. So here we go. Here is Studio 86 Jazz's alt mode, and I think this is a thing of beauty. I think it looks absolutely stunning and absolutely fantastic. I did just move that bonnet panel up. I had to open these arms out and push that up again, but it has stayed this time. So what is Jazz's alt mode? It appears to be a Porsche 935, much like his G1 counterpart. However, I don't think it's an official licensed Porsche. We might have some subtle changes to prevent it being an official Porsche. If any experts out there know what the changes are, please let us know. Now here we can see Jazz from the side. Here is Jazz from the front. Here is Jazz from the rear. Oh, I haven't pushed those together very well, have I? Oh, they don't want to stay together. Here is Jazz from the top, and everyone's favourite, underneath. Now again, I think the paint apps on this Jazz are very, very nice. I love the bonnet stripes. They even have a little petrol cap filler on the bonnets there. The silver chrome on the wheels looks good, although these little gaps in the spokes are not so great, although what are you going to do? Plastic tyres again. Can we please have rubber tyres back? Rubber tyres are just so much better. I'd pay an extra penny for a rubber tyre. The numbers on the side here are very crisp and well done. There's that bled red area I told you about earlier. And the clear plastic areas are nice. I do like the subtle aircraft window tint to those, a slight sort of tealy green. And you can see where they've tried to paint these areas white, and there's a slight colour match difference, although again at arm's length, very hard to notice. But I think you will agree, it looks fantastic. I really do like this figure. You may be able to tell. Now there's no weird bits or anything sticking out. You may talk about his toes here. They could have perhaps put some exhausts in there, but apart from that, I think it's a very clean car mode. Will he roll? He wants to turn when he rolls, so he doesn't roll in a straight line. I imagine if I spent a bit of time just straightening up. God, why can't I say straightening? Straightening up the tracking on the wheels and gaps, he probably will roll a little better. Let's see what I can do. How's that? There we go. That's actually a decent roll. I'm happy with that. So that is Jazz in his alt mode, which I think is fantastic. And by the way, you can clip his weapon on his roof, like so, or you could even clip it on sideways to make a more flush, flat version, like so. So that is Jazz's alt mode. I think you'll agree that's amazing. And that is Studio Series 86 Jazz, the best Studio 86 figure I've dealt with so far. Please don't murder me in the comments